Welcome to WHYY's Education Special, where youth voices take center stage. I'm your host, Olivia Celenza, and today we're diving into the stories that matter most to the students of Philadelphia. From science to art, mentorship to self-exploration, these videos highlight the young change makers dedicated to making a difference in their communities. We've got 4 spectacular videos slated for our special, each aiming to bring a fresh, new perspective to the important topics of today. First up, we head to a place where young women are celebrating big wins in the world of STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are shaping the future, but the opportunities to pursue STEM aren't always accessible. That's where Women in Natural Sciences comes in.
My parents have always pushed us and tried to give us opportunities they never had. So I feel like when the wins came up, they're like, oh yeah, definitely go give it a try.
Women make up less than 35% of people in science, technology, engineering, and math, otherwise known as STEM, and less than 8% are women of color. WHYY, or Women in Natural Science, is a Philadelphia youth organization at Drexel's Academy of Natural Science. They accept young women from unrepresented groups, giving them guidance, information, and enrichment through workshops and mentorship. Internships from WHYY offer these young women the opportunity to take care of animals and take part in published research. They provide a pathway to a future in science careers to decrease the gap between demographics.
WHYY was like a deeper connection for me. It was like a second family with just science included, and it's like the best thing I think for me that could have happened, because not only am I learning, but I'm learning and growing with people that I consider like my sisters.
August of 2023, a group of WHYY girls and we were selected to be a part of the WHYY internship, Women on Water. The group of us would canoe down Delaware River and we would camp out at different campsites.
It was me and Vicky in a kayak together. We were partners, and we were coming up the Delaware River, and Miss Kim was like, take a moment of silence, everyone, and appreciate what we have right in front of us.
That particular trip is one of my favorites just because it's away from the city, since that's where we grew up.
I got more out of just living in the moment, because I've never really seen like big trees or giant water or birds flying everywhere.
WHYY has showcased that like minorities like myself, whether that's a woman or like a person of color in STEM, we are like capable of doing things that others aren't.
Not many kids are encouraged to be curious. I wasn't even the type to be curious. I was just the type to go my own route and think, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, period. Being curious is a powerful thing, in my opinion. We don't have that much representation, especially for young girls who are interested in STEM. I know some people who lost their way because they never had the proper support or the proper encouragement to be able to explore things such as science.
When I was younger, I couldn't imagine where I am today. Like, I'm doing all the things I enjoy. I'm getting opportunities I didn't know I could get.
I think if someone were to really give WHYY a chance, it would change their lives for the better. And if I had the chance to do WHYY all over again, I would do it all over again.
Art is about expression, exploration, and sometimes even making mistakes. But what would happen if there was a place that encouraged creatives to mess up in the pursuit of artistic greatness? Welcome to the Imperfect Gallery, a nonprofit art space located in Germantown that is rooted in the belief that creativity should be free from the pressures of perfections. Let's take a look inside and see how this studio caters to carefree creativity in Philadelphia.
Going into other gallery spots is very, you can't do. And then Imperfect is more like, what can you do?
Artists like Kang have found their voice at Imperfect Gallery, a nonprofit located in Germantown. Founded in 2012 by immigrant couple Rocio Cabello and Rennie Molinar, the space offers individuals the opportunity to share their voice with as much freedom as possible.
Freedom. Freedom to present their work however they feel is right.
We are not tied to how much money are we going to generate this month, or how much scholarship are we going to generate. we can just allow an artist to experiment, to do something. But what excites us is the passion.
According to Rocio and Rennie, this philosophy is one of many things that makes their gallery unique.
We let artists experiment. We let artists make mistakes. Sometimes those are the biggest lessons.
From filling the space with 700 pounds of sand to creating interactive virtual experiences, artists have vast flexibility.
And in Perfect, you will definitely find the ability to be like, not only are you going to get the opportunity, but you're going to be able to see what you can do for yourself.
Rocio describes how the neighborhood initially felt prior to the opening of the gallery.
As artists, we felt very isolated being in this neighborhood. Even though we knew there were a lot of artists in this area, there were not any venues to show our artists' work. And everybody we discovered, everybody who wanted to show their work or look at other people's work had to go downtown.
In bringing the gallery to Germantown, the founders say they created the space with the intention and hope of becoming a voice in the community and the ongoing conversation with the art world.
There is a conversation that artists are constantly having with each other or with the art world or with the world in general. But if you don't have a place to put that speaker, nobody gets to hear it.
Our approach of freedom, anti-censorship, the idea of rights of artists to have a voice, drives what we are.
By amplifying voices in the community, artists are given the opportunity to practice authenticity, knowing they will be heard.
To me, growing up in Philly, when you work on being someone else, people kind of treat you like you're working on being someone else. But when you're actually working on being yourself, Philly receives you way different. They don't take you in immediately, but the repetition of being yourself is very much appreciated here. So a place where you can maximally be who you are, like in Perfect Gallery, yeah, it's a good space.
Along with unconventional exhibits, the gallery hosts other community events, such as writing workshops, Friday night Roomba, and their upcoming block party.
The magnetism of the people is what made me feel like, okay, we found the right place. The feeling is really hard to describe. So I would say, come to our events, come to check out the exhibits, and you'll understand what we're talking about. That's it.
These videos prove the students of Philadelphia are fostering community and creating change through science, art, and storytelling. This next video commemorates the accomplishments and achievements of Philadenko, the Philadelphia Dance Company, and its trailblazing founder, Joan Myers-Brown. Since its founding in 1970, Philadenko has broken barriers by offering opportunities to Black dancers who, at the time of the company's founding, were systemically denied access to local schools and limited performance outlets. Let's put on our dancing shoes and see how Philadenko continues to shape the world of dance.
Since the 1970s, Philadelphia Dance Company, or Philadenko, has had a major influence on the dancing world of Philadelphia. From ballet to hip-hop, tap to jazz, Joan Myers-Brown has paved the way of dancing, especially for young African-American kids in Philadelphia for almost 55 years.
The Philadenko is the name that stands for the Philadelphia Dance Company, but it's now 4 dance companies and 2 dance schools.
The mission of Philadenko is to combat the fundamental racism embedded in the dance world. Since its creation, Philadenko has provided a place for Black dancers to learn and grow in.
Joan Myers-Brown created this company for access, mainly for her dancers who were dancing in her school, who are now old enough to get into companies while auditioning, weren't able to have these opportunities. And she created a gateway to have a space, have a place where we can perform professionally and tour nationally and internationally. And to this day, she still is a pioneer.
Philadenko has provided a safe haven to be in, highlighting the importance of learning from people that dancers can relate to, according to instructor Tommy Wahid Evans.
and you're learning from people who are a lot like you and coming from a similar type of background and aesthetics, and those things are very, very important when you're trying to grow and learn and be in a space that you can be comfortable and flourish in.
This place like a family, so to have that support around you that makes them like, okay, I can do this.
I feel like they give us a lot of confidence because there's not a lot of black girls in ballet. So Aunt Joan is trying to give a lot of black girls in ballet, and I feel like that's kind of impactful.
Young dancers at Philadelphia express the impact dancing at Philadelphia has made on their lives.
It has a lot of opportunities, especially for young black dancers, specifically male, because there's not a lot of males in the arts, so it opens a lot of doors for us.
She made this because what she couldn't do when she was a child. So it's like, now I can do what she couldn't. So I feel like I need to honor her by doing that.
It just kind of makes me more like confident in different areas. Because when I started dancing, I was kind of shy, so it kind of had that big impact on me of being more confident.
Philadelphia roots were for serving black dancers, but now Philadelphia has evolved to become an all-inclusive company, according to Janine Beckles.
We're all inclusive. I always have to tell people that people just automatically assume that we're a black dance company, and we're not. We're inclusive of all colors and religions, and I would say her emphasis was black dance, but we're all encompassing.
We've been around 55 years. We've been to 20 different countries, 5 different continents, and we're still trying to get black girls in ballet companies, and we're still trying to provide opportunities for dancers.
For the past 55 years, Philadelphia has forged a path of excellence and inclusivity that sets it apart from other companies. However, there's still work that needs to be done.
For our final segment, we're hopping aboard SEPTA as we follow Philadelphia students who rely on the city's transportation system to get them to school. For many, it can be overwhelming to navigate, but it's a pivotal step in gaining independence. This video discusses the many ways in which students have navigated the city, found their roots, gained confidence, and made the most out of their daily commutes.
Every day, thousands of teens take SEPTA to school as a way of transportation. Many kids who attend middle school and high school in Philadelphia are given free passes, which allows them to have free transportation on the SEPTA buses if they live 1.5 miles or further from their school.
I first started in like 4th grade just to get to my middle school, and I've just been taking it since then.
I think the first time I used SEPTA to get to school was like 8th grade, because I used to be like driven around, and I kind of felt like nervous about it, but then I really got used to it, so it really didn't feel that bad after the first time.
Some students get their car during middle school, while others get it during the first day of high school. It can be a nerve-wracking experience for those taking SEPTA for the first time.
I did practice. I practiced with someone too, but before freshman year started, there were orientations at SLA, and so yeah, I practiced going on my own on SEPTA.
The first time I used SEPTA was for my orientation for my school. It was pretty nerve-wracking for me because I've never used SEPTA before that, and I was really scared because I never knew how to use the bus.
While there are a lot of positives about SEPTA, there could be things that passengers believe need to be changed, such as safety, delays, and cleanliness.
SEPTA is it's like public transportation. Inside is it could be very filled at times, so it's barely any space on there. So it's packed up and it's barely any room for real.
No, SEPTA is very dirty. It's not really clean at all. I don't think SEPTA is very clean, but I still feel like I need SEPTA to get the places.
Breaking right now at noon, police make an arrest after a person is shot on a SEPTA train along the Market Frankfurt
critical
line.
condition after he was shot in the stomach on the northbound platform of SEPTA's Broad Street line. It happened
Now
shortly
they're shooting
before
this afternoon on a SEPTA train platform at Broad and Lehigh. This video from
It just makes me feel nervous. It makes me feel kind of weird because I feel like it could happen while I'm on the bus. That just makes me feel like off.
Well, I'm not personally scared. My parents are really scared for me because every time they tell me, I'm like, oh, I'm going down in South Philly just to hang out with friends, and they're like, okay, be careful, watch what you're doing, be aware.
According to SEPTA officials, they have seen a 45% decrease in serious crimes on the system during the first quarter of 2024. However, several of the incidents of violence were students that occurred when going or leaving school.
Good evening. It's Wednesday night. We begin with breaking news here tonight. Another act of chaotic violence at a SEPTA bus stop. 8 teenagers shot late today, targeted as they waited to go home from school.
When I hear stories about the different deaths of children taking the subway or taking SEPTA, I honestly, I feel a bit uneasy, but it's a sad thing, but I also feel like it's kind of normal now to see a death here or there or an assault. There was actually a news article, I think, talking about how somebody got shot up on the same bus that I take, but I wasn't there that day, so I kind of missed that encounter, so I think I got lucky.
Definitely do make me anxious. Sometimes when I'm sitting on SEPTA, I do think, what if somebody just come up and pull out a gun? I don't know, that's an inner thought.
Some parents believe that taking SEPTA is a good way for them to get around. Without a car, the only other way to get around the city is to take SEPTA, while others are hesitant to let their children take the public transportation around the city.
Using SEPTA by myself or with my friends, it gives me a sense of freedom and independence because I know that I can be able to travel anywhere without my parents and I will be safe.
I feel more independent since I have the transportation pass. I understand how there's a curfew for the card, how you can only use it before 8 p.m., but I kind of take advantage of that because I don't go out that much and I don't take the bus that much, so I have I really only use it once a day, and if I'm hanging out with somebody, I'll just kind of abuse it. I'll just tap me, sometimes my friends in if they don't have one.
Well, I think I feel pretty proud of myself when it comes to being independent, like getting around on my own, going to certain places.
While SEPTA has its challenges, without it, many students would not be able to get around. It's a good way to travel because it's healthy for the environment and for the community.
I feel like if Philadelphia didn't have SEPTA, it'd be pretty hard to get to places because it's either you take a car or you take the subway or SEPTA. So without it, it would be really difficult.
And that's a wrap on WHYY's Education Special. These videos show the power of youth voices and creativity. Thanks to all the filmmakers, and thank you for watching.